In Assessment 1, we're asking you to work as a group to select one design challenge from the prescribed list and to work in teams to find, research, and compare two case studies from different cultural contexts. Your task is to bring your research and findings back to your team and the tutorials for discussion, development, and ultimately presentation in week 5. The weekly lectures in the course will equip you with an extensive overview of socio-cultural considerations to support your investigations. Individually, you'll develop your own design brief to your selected design challenge and cultural context and start to articulate your emerging values as a designer. To ensure everyone has a common understanding of what our design challenges mean, we're going to look at some definitions and example case studies for each of the prescribed design challenges, and we'll do so from a range of socio-cultural contexts. Before we do, however, let's briefly give some consideration to the relationship between design and culture. Why is culture important to design, and how designers approach a design challenge? The Italian design theorist Ezio Manzini argues that the question of culture is actually virtually absent from the debate on contemporary design. And he argues this is a serious deficiency that prevents the emergence of a problem-based, solution-orientated mode of design, the defining characteristic of which is not the products, services, and communicative artifacts it produces, but the tools and methods that it uses. He goes on to assert that the absence of a debate on emerging design's cultural dimension is a serious limitation that prevents it from becoming the agent of cultural and therefore social and environmental change that it could and indeed should be. Our design challenges include circular design, design for social impact, design for accessibility, sustainable fashion, design and health, and eco-design. It's helpful to have ways to assess how effective a design response is, regardless of its cultural context. The UN Sustainability Goals, or SDGs, can help us think about how well a design product, service, or experience performs as a response to a given design challenge. The 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, which was established in 2015 and supported by all United Nations member states, outlines a collective plan for promoting peace, prosperity, and sustainability for both humanity and the planet. And it centers around the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, which demand immediate action from all nations, regardless of their development status, through global collaboration. And these goals acknowledge the interconnectedness of poverty eradication, improved health and education, reduced inequality, economic growth, climate change mitigation, and the preservation of oceans and forests. And design is at the center of these critical objectives, and they offer us a critical lens through which to examine the effectiveness of design responses to the kinds of challenges on our list. And as we go through the instances of illustrative case studies, you'll see references to these SDGs. So the case study I've chosen for circular design is an example from Brazil. It's the company Natura. And this is a company that positions itself and claims to be the #1 cosmetics brand in Brazil. Since its creation, sustainable development has been at the heart of Natura's efforts. Forest conservation, waste reduction, and climate protection. They've been 100% carbon neutral since 2007 and claim that they've contributed to the conservation of 1.8 million hectares of forest. Income generation for 2,000 families in farming communities, that equates to around 8,500 people. They use 100% recycled packaging and engage in fair trade practices and partnerships, sustaining ancestral knowledge, traditions and customs. They are not involved in animal testing, and they have B Corp certification. Now that's a designation that a business is meeting high standards of verified performance, accountability, and transparency on factors from employee benefits and charitable giving to supply chain practices and input materials. Now, the example I've chosen to illustrate design for social impact is actually a student project from the Art Center College of Design in California, where students created a comprehensive multimodal campaign targeted to the local Filipino American community to encourage awareness of and engagement with colon cancer screenings and to bring awareness of the increasing rate of cancer diagnosis within that population. So the students engage with researchers, doctors, healthcare providers, behavioral scientists, community organizations, and leaders of ethnic and immigrant groups to understand the history, the makeup and values of the local Filipino American community as they created this final campaign, which was based on empathy and cultural awareness. A lot of the discourse around design for accessibility is in relation to user experience design for digital tools, apps, and websites. However, design for accessibility can be discussed in the context of education, wayfinding systems, architecture, and product design. You'll often see it referred to as universal design. The case study I've selected is an exciting one from Project Lima. It examines accessible design in South Asian contexts. Accessibility is still very much neglected here, despite data indicating that according to the World Health Organization, the prevalence rate for disabilities in Southeast Asia is 16%. Project Lima state product teams who are generally passionate about accessibility face challenges because of the lack of policies and regulations from government that pushes product teams to incorporate accessibility. Only a handful of digital products are accessible, and most are yet to integrate accessibility rules at all. There's less of an urge to because most organizations focus on hypergrowth. An important and often overlooked benefit of inclusive design is the universal usability inherent to it. Accessibility needs to form a broad spectrum and can be permanent, temporary, or situational. Designing with accessibility in mind means building usable tools for everyone. People with disabilities, visible and invisible, hearing and sight impaired people, people with mobility challenges, the elderly, and children. Accessibility, although it's a key element of inclusive design, sometimes does not take into account people's contextual background that includes background contexts like culture, identity, upbringing, etc. The Fabric Bank was established in January 2015 and was founded by Brazilian architect and interior designer Luciano Bueno, who had accumulated 800 kilograms of fabric leftovers over a span of about 25 years. Initially, it began as a trade amongst professional colleagues, but after the founder attended an entrepreneurship course, she recognized its potential as a social business. Within 1 year, the initiative had attracted 150 account holders, including private individuals, fashion designers, seamstresses, small apparel companies, a textile manufacturer, and even a footwear company. The concept of creating an account system similar to a bank not only attracted customers, but also promoted the circulation of fabrics. Unlike simultaneous exchanges commonly found in sustainability fairs, customers can deposit and withdraw fabric as needed. Deposits can be made with fabrics of any size and type, and the material is evaluated, washed if necessary, weighed, and stored if it's in good condition. Very interesting initiative. I've chosen a case study from India for design and health. iCure. This is a population health management company that addresses primary healthcare and prevention requirements through a unique combination of health outreach initiatives, skill development, and technology interventions. Their health management services are designed to encompass preventative, promotive, and curative aspects of healthcare. iCure is dedicated to meeting the primary healthcare needs of individuals residing across rural, semi-urban, and urban areas, which is particularly important in India because the majority of healthcare facilities are concentrated in urban areas, and a significant portion of the Indian population, approximately 70%, lack access to primary healthcare services beyond the tier 1 cities, which include Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, Bangalore, Pune. iCure claim that they aim to bridge this gap by providing affordable, easily accessible, and high-quality primary healthcare to underserved communities throughout India, extending beyond that tier 1 city context. For my eco-design case study, I've chosen the Spedagi. It's a bamboo bicycle from Indonesia. It received the Japan Good Design Gold Award in 2018. And I discovered it on the Design Boom website, which reported that bamboo bicycles are actually not something new. They've been produced since the early development of the bicycle, which dates from the 19th century. But along with industrial development, new materials like metal became more popular for durability, ease of reproduction. And it wasn't until eco-design and the green movement emerged that bamboo became a reconsidered material for bike manufacturers, as it offers a very good combination of stiffness for power efficiency and compliance for vibration dampening. Now, the Spedagi's designer, Singi Katono, his approach has been to strive to show that a village environment can produce a good product. That's what he's been involved with in the past. But now, with this design, he discovered that a good design on product can also be a powerful tool for a movement. And he argues the bamboo bike is metaphorically like a village that's considered a thing of the past. But bamboo, which is cheap, underestimated, and an old-fashioned material, can make a valuable future-facing product. Now, Design Boom concluded that it's not merely that bamboo was used to make a bicycle, but by using a bicycle as an easy-to-understand symbol, the craftsman's skills, the village's industry, and local cultural characteristics, they're exhibited in this product, and it attracts companies from outside the village in the aim of the revitalization of the entire region. This approach is well thought out in terms of its indirect effects, which has been praised. Additionally, even when it comes to the bicycle itself, it's finished beautifully and to a high standard of quality, seen in the texture of the bamboo, the precision of the joints, and the finish of the metal parts, hence the Gold Good Design Award.